If this looks like the client intake form you are sending every single new potential client, sad boxes, default font, looks nothing like your brand, it's time to revamp the first impression of working with you. Today, I'll show you a tool that can completely change how you prep for a discovery call, how you collect feedback, and even how you get paid. I'm going to show you how to set it up, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to build your own branded version in about 10 minutes. A big thanks to Paperform for sponsoring this video. If you are a freelance designer or you run a small studio, forms are everywhere in your workflow. New client intake, project questionnaires, feedback surveys, invoicing, contracts, forms for your clients. A lot of us are using whatever is free and fast, Google Forms, a shared doc, or even just back and forth over email. The problem isn't that those tools don't work, it's that they don't look like you and your brand. And when you're trying to convince someone to pay you good money for design work, the very first thing you hand them should not look like a government form. But there is a way to look polished and professional and get all the info you need, and that's the tool I want to show you today, Paperform. This is video 1 of 3. Today is about getting it set up and branded, showing you all the things it can do, and in the next 2 videos, I'll actually build a real client discovery form and a feedback form, logic and all, so you can copy them for your business. So here's the blank canvas. The first thing I want to show you, because this is what makes it stand out, is that it doesn't build forms like a form tool. It actually builds them like a document. So you're just typing headings, paragraphs, images, video, all in line in whatever order you want. No dragging little boxes onto a grid and hoping they line up. And you get enough control to make it look great. But the part that I want to show you first is what will make it look great, the branding. You can set your fonts, your color palette, buttons, and it applies across the whole form instantly. So let's say this is for my brand. I'll drop in my brand colors, swap the fonts to match my site, and now this doesn't look like a form from the 1900s. It looks like part of my business. And you're not stuck linking out to a random Paperform URL either. You can actually embed it directly into your site so it feels seamless to your clients. All right, now that we have this looking like it belongs, here are ways that you can use it. 4 things right off the bat that you can use Paperform for in your design business. First, client intake. The first form a new client ever fills out, instead of a boring questionnaire, I can build it as a branded, guided, one question at a time flow so it doesn't feel like homework. I'm doing a full walkthrough of the exact form that I use with clients in the next video. Second, proposals and payment. I can take a deposit or first payment inside the form connected straight to Stripe. No separate invoice tool. So if you are using a really expensive CRM and this is what it's mainly solving for you, you could consider moving to Paperform. Third, project feedback. When I wrap a project, I send a feedback form instead of an awkward, "So how did I do?" email. In video 3, I'm going to build this one live with conditional logic based on their answers. And also lead capture on client sites. You can build these forms for your clients too. Embed a branded lead form right on the site you just designed for them. It's an easy upsell and it can do a lot of things that Squarespace forms just can't do well. So, a quick question for you, drop a comment and tell me which of those 4 you'd use first. I actually read these, and if enough of you want a specific one, I'll build it as an extra bonus video. And if you'd like a template you can add to your own Paperform account for one of these, let me know and I'll set that up too. There are a lot of things Paperform does really well that you might want to incorporate in your workflow. You can set up conditional logic so the form actually changes based on how someone answers. You can skip questions that don't apply, ask follow-ups only when they're relevant, and I'm going to show you this in detail on the discovery form in the next video. If you ever quote pricing based on project scope, number of pages, add-ons, extra calls, you can build custom pricing rules right into the form. The client sees their price update in real time as they answer questions. If you need more advanced quoting, you can even do custom calculations. And when it's time to actually sign a contract, you can send it straight from the submission for e-signature. So the whole thing from questionnaire to signed contract to deposit paid can happen within the same platform. There's also a really useful AI feature here if you want to use it. You can describe the form you want in plain English, and it will draft the whole thing for you as a starting point, which is a nice shortcut when you're staring at a blank page. Yeah, I know sponsored video can make you skeptical of everything a creator says about a tool, but I genuinely love this company. I was already looking for something like this before I started talking with Paperform. It's used by over 500,000 businesses, so I'm clearly not the only one who's landed here. And it's got all the security stuff, SOC 2, GDPR compliance, that matters if you're handling client data, which as designers we are. And it hits on the two other things that matter most to me when I'm choosing software: a founding team that gets it and incredible customer support. If you want to try building your own branded version, there's a free plan to start on, and I'll drop the link in the description. And if you use code Christy30, you'll also get 30% off the first year of your pro subscription. And like I said, this is video one of three. Next up, I'm building my actual client discovery questionnaire from scratch, conditional logic and all, and I'll show you the exact questions I ask every potential client. After that, I'll cover the project feedback form. Subscribe if you don't want to miss those, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you all the best with your web design business.